Hello everybody, it's Stefan Joubert from the Stefan Joubert Guitar Academy. In this video I'd like to speak to you about how to memorize the guitar's notes on the fretboard. You know, I see a lot of students in my teaching practice, and basically, especially when students are new, they really get lost as to where the notes are. A lot of people do know the notes on the sixth string or the bass string of the guitar, but when it comes to the other strings, there's lots of issues around getting to know where the notes are. I think one of the issues is the fact that most people do not take the time to actually sit there and memorize the notes. I'm going to show you an easy method for getting to know the notes. It's going to require work on your part for you to go and actually practice the method and make it work. But if you follow the advice that I give in this video, it will certainly help you to get to know your notes. I also want to encourage you not to be a one-dimensional guitar player. So what I mean by that is a lot of guitarists know where the notes are on strings 5 and string 6, the two bass strings. But if you ask them where the note would be located, say on string 3, they would not be able to find the notes there. So that's why it is essential that you actually get to know the notes across the entire fretboard, to be able to solo better, to be able to just play music better in general, and just to feel more comfortable with the tool, with the instrument. So if you get better at the instrument and better at the notes of where they're located, everything else will get easier. After all, music is all about notes. Everything you play is a note. So you've got to get to know it somehow. And at some times, you've got to get to know it. I know a lot of guitarists also use tablature, and they would just think, okay, well, it's on the 7th fret on the 5th string. Well, that is fine, but you should still know the name of that note. You can't just think, okay, you know, I can just memorize the tablature, because otherwise you're learning music in a way that's not the best. You're just learning a part of music, and you want to go all out and learn how to play properly. So let's go to the guitar now and let us take a look at the notes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is work on the E string. We're going to look at all the notes on E. So let us work on that first. So what we know already from the guitar is that we have an E on the 1st string, which is an open E, and we have an E on the 6th string, again an open E. So we already have two pieces of information there to work with. So an E and an E. What we also know is that the open string, and where the two dots are located, are exactly the same notes, just an octave higher. So we know we've got the low E over here, and then an octave higher we've got the other E, which is basically one full octave higher. So this note equals this note here. An octave, in other words. The same thing from the 1st string. You've got an E here, and then you've got an E 12 frets higher. Now, some guitars will allow you to go all the way to 24 frets. I do not have this on this guitar, but you have guitars where you can go all the way to 24 frets. So let me give you a method on how to memorize the E's. So, what you do is you start from the lowest E, you play it, then you go up to the next E on the same string. So that's on string 6. We started from the lowest point on the open string. We then proceeded to the 12th fret. Then we go to the 5th string and we play on the 7th fret. That's an E over there. And then you just add 12 up and you'll get to the note. Or you could look at the dots. You've got 1, 2, 3 dots here. If you go above the 2 dots here, you will have 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be right there. But it's good to know that it's the 19th fret. So you've got the 7th fret and you've got the 19th fret. On string 4, we have the 2nd fret and the 14th fret. On string 3, we have the 9th fret and the 21st fret. So that's the second last note of the guitar on a standard electric guitar. Then on string 2, we have the 5th fret and we have the 17th fret. And on string 1, it's exactly the same as what we have on string 6. So we've got open and we've got 12. So basically, the way to do it would be like this. I'd like you to say it and play it for the notes to internalize. You're going to do, I'm playing the E's, so you're going to say 0, 12, 7, the 3rd dot, 19, the third dot above the 12th fret. Actually, if you want to do it with me, say and play exactly what I'm saying, because that will help you to internalize it. E on the 2nd fret, because it's the D string, so of course D sharp E. It's good to see the logic as well. 14th fret. 9th fret on the G string. 2nd last note on a standard electric guitar, the 21st fret. The 5th fret on string 2 goes to the 17th fret. Let us take a look at that again. The 5th fret on string 2, 2nd dot, dot 1, dot 2, go above the octave, above the 12, dot 1, dot 2. Find it right there. The open we've already done, but we'll do it again, because the open year equals the open year. It's a mirror. It's the same thing coming back. So the open there, and we've got the 2 dots, the 12 there. If you have 24, you can go to the top as well. And then when you've done that, redo it in this fashion. 0, 12, 7, 19, 2, 14, 9, 21, 5, 17, 0, 12. From this point we go straight back. 0, go to the highest note. 17, 5, 21, 9, 14, 2, 19, 7, 12, 0. So that is what I call high, low, low, high, low. What we're going to do now is we're going to go from the highest point to the lowest, back up to the highest. I always like my students to practice in this way. You start something like a scale as well, even like a pentatonic scale, and you just play from the lowest point back to the lowest point, and then you can practice the scale from the highest point back to the highest point. Because if you practice that and you practice, so this one is high, high, and you practice low, high, low, you're really going to nail it. Of course, then one can also say, I'd like to start from the middle and practice. Well, that would be another methodology. As a first step, you can try low, high, low, and high, low, high. So, let us do the high, low, high. What I mean by that is the highest note to the lowest note here and go all the way back up to the highest note. Again, we'll say it and play it. Here we go. 12, 0, 17, 5, 21, 9, 14, 2, 19, 7, 12, 0. Then we go all the way back up again because it's high, low, high. 12, 7, 19, 2, 14, 9, 21, 5, 17, 0, 12. So that's the way to get to memorize the names of the notes. Now I want to go further into this and help you to do it further and to get a deeper understanding. So firstly, I'm just focusing on the E note alone, but of course you can do this for any note on the guitar. And yes, I'm just using the E as a basis for this exercise. But if you use the D, you would just go etc. So basically, it doesn't matter which note you use, you would then do the same type of exercise. But once you've done that, let me give you another exercise and another way to perfect this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, first of all, work with the notes below the 12th fret. So 0, 7, 2, 9, 5, 0. Okay? Now we're going to work above, from the 12th and above. 12, 19, 14, 21, 17, 12. And you can go back 17, 21, 14, 19, 12. Okay? So you get to know it up there as well. And up there, spend a little bit more time because you do not know it that well up there. So you can just go, you can just play it as well. Hang on to the note. Interesting. So it's interesting to see how they, or where they're all located. You can do the same thing down here as well. Because that will help you to get to know the instrument. And then what you do after that is you can play a game. It's great if you can get someone to ask you a few questions. So someone can say, okay, play for me the root note on string 2. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure, it's 5 and it's 17. Play for me the root note on string 3 above the 12th fret. It's like, oh, okay, 21. Okay, play for me the E note or the root note. It could be root or E, whatever. Play the E on string 4. And you're like, okay, 2, 14. Okay, play the root note for me on string 5. Yeah, okay, you got it. 19 over there. And then you can say, okay, tell me where it's located in relation to the 3 dots, and you've got the 12th and the dots above. So you can say, let's take again string 5, and this you could repeat yourself. 1, 2, 3 dots below the 12th. 1, 2, 3 dots above the 12th. And then you could go, okay, string 3, I've got my 9th fret here. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. You can even tap them out, it makes it easier. Second dot, second dot. Open, there. So basically, that will help you to really, really get to know the notes. The next step, of course, after that, would be then to take notation and learn to read the notes. So many guitarists only play with tablature, and I think personally it's a weakness. The guitar world has created quite a lot of, bad methods of learning. I'm not against tablature. I use tablature in my own practice as well, but never learning to read is a bad idea. You should know how to read on the instrument. Every single professional musician or even amateur musician can read a score. It's only the guitarist who rely only on tablature. And, so we got to change that. We got to say, look, that's enough. We want to become better at this. So I would advise you and urge you to get some great training to become better at the entire thing of the guitar. We've got such a bad reputation as guitarists in general. Just guitarists are known for just strumming a few chords and not knowing what they're doing. If you speak to your average saxophonist, they're playing jazz. They're playing bebop lines, Guitarists are there strumming chords and playing power chords. Nothing wrong with that. But we've got to raise the standard, guys. We've got to decide it's time to learn to play the instrument properly, not to be lazy, because a lot of guitarists are quite lazy. The other musicians, saxophonists, people who play maybe the trumpet, people who play the harp, they're putting in the time and the hours to become better. So let's do the same. Let's not have this idea of, just being cool with the instrument. We're just playing our rock tunes and we don't know what we're doing. No, let's take charge of the thing. Let's learn to play properly and let's put the time in and become better at playing. So thank you for listening to me and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Thank you again for spending a little bit of your time with me. I'll speak with you on the next video again. Goodbye.